Seit einigen Tagen bin ich schon in der Schweiz. Ein Tourist bin ich aber nicht. Ich habe in der Schweiz zu arbeiten und will lange hierbleiben. Das Mädchen stellt Blumen ins Zimmer, denn heute kommt meine Familie auch hierher. Die Familie ist schon auf dem Weg. Mit dem Flugzeug geht es schnell. Die Unterhaltung ist interessant und die Bedienung gut. Mit vielen anderen Menschen warte ich auf dem Flughafen in Zürich. Da ist meine Frau. Sie winkt. Und da sind meine Tochter und mein Sohn. Hallo, wie war die Reise? Alle sind gesund. Alle freuen sich. So viele Koffer habt ihr? Wie viele Koffer sind es denn? Habe ich genug Platz für so viele Koffer? Meine Frau hat von der Reise vieles zu erzählen. Wir gehen an dem Fluss mit seinen großen und kleinen Schiffen vorbei. Alles ist meiner Familie neu. Hier ist wieder etwas. Was macht denn der Mann? Aha, er zeichnet ein Gebäude. Es ist eine Kirche. In Zürich kann man gut einkaufen. Die Frauen haben schon neue Schuhe. Neue Kleider brauchen sie aber wirklich nicht. Wir bleiben lange in Zürich, denn Berge und Gletscher wollen wir sehen. Man will doch das sehen, was für das Land charakteristisch ist. Wir fahren über den Furka-Pass hoch in die Berge hinauf. Hier ist ein Gletscher, der bekannte Rhone-Gletscher. Mein Sohn und meine Tochter finden das alles sehr interessant. Diese Eismasse ist 14 Kilometer lang. So viel Eis haben wir noch nie gesehen. In dem Gletscher ist ein Tunnel. Es ist eine neue Welt für uns, eine kalte, blaugrüne, neue Welt. Hier entspringt der große Fluss, die Rhone. Nun geht es weiter in die Berge hinauf. Einer der schönsten und bekanntesten Berge ist das Matterhorn. Es ist 4503 Meter hoch. Die Abende sind in den Bergen besonders schön. Für heute haben wir nun genug gesehen. Schlaft gut in euren langen Nachthemden. Gute Nacht. Am nächsten Tag geht es wieder weiter, denn meine Familie hat noch lange nicht genug gesehen. Wir besuchen ein bekanntes Gasthaus. Es heißt Zur goldenen Krone. Die Gasthäuser mit den schönen Namen sind nicht teuer und sehr bilderreich. Die Bilder sind Szenen aus der Geschichte der Schweiz. Andere Gasthäuser haben auch bilderreiche Namen. Zum Weißen Hirschen, zum Löwen, zum Weißen Lamm und zu den 3 Königen. Im nächsten Ort sieht mein Sohn Toni etwas Interessantes, eine Armbrust, wie die, des Meisterschützen Wilhelm Tell. Da Toni begeistert ist, kaufe ich ihm eine Armbrust. Später fahren wir auf einem Schiff in die Heimat Wilhelm Tells. In Altdorf ist ein Denkmal von ihm. Hat Tell wirklich um das Jahr 1300 gelebt? In der Geschichte liest man den Namen erst 170 Jahre später. Das Denkmal ist aus jüngster Zeit. In diesen Bergen begann aber die Geschichte der Schweiz. Wir sehen hier Szenen aus dem Stück Wilhelm Tell von Friedrich Schiller. Kennen Sie Schillers Stück? Die Menschen sollen vor dem Hut des Landvogtes die Knie beugen. Auf dem Platz von Altdorf hängt der Hut Tag und Nacht auf einer hohen Stange. Der Hut ist Symbol des Tyrannen. Da Tell die Knie nicht beugen will, nimmt man ihn gefangen. Der Landvogt fragt:
Du bist ein Meister auf der Armbrust, Tell? Mach dich fertig, einen Apfel von des Knaben Kopf zu schießen.
Toni macht große Augen. Tells Sohn hält still. Der Apfel ist auf seinem Kopf. Der Apfel ist gefallen.
Der Knabe lebt.
Der Apfel ist getroffen.
Erzählen wird man von dem Schützen Tell, solange die Berge stehen.
Nun, fragt der Landvogt aber:
Wozu der zweite Pfeil?
Mit diesem zweiten Pfeil durchschoss ich euch, wenn ich mein liebes Kind getroffen hätte.
Der Landvogt nimmt Tell gefangen und führt ihn auf ein Schiff. Tell springt aber mit seiner Armbrust aus dem Schiff und ans Land. Man sieht diese Szene auf Wandbildern in der Tell-Kapelle. Auch die nächste. Der Landvogt ist tot, Tell hat ihn mit seinem Pfeil durchschossen.
Der Tyrann des Landes ist gefallen. Wir sind freie Menschen.
Man schwört einen Eid.
Wir wollen sein ein einzig Volk von Brüdern. Wir wollen frei sein, wie die Väter waren.
Auch heute gibt es noch diese Form der Demokratie bei den kleineren Gemeinden in der Schweiz. Diese Form der Demokratie heißt unmittelbare Demokratie. Was ist diese unmittelbare Demokratie? Die Demokratie ist unmittelbar, wenn die ganze Gemeinde zusammenkommt. Hier ist die ganze Gemeinde. Es sind Hunderte von Männern. Man sieht aber nur Männer, denn die Frauen stimmen in der Schweiz nicht ab. Wozu das Schwert? Das Schwert ist ein Symbol der Unabhängigkeit des Menschen. In der Schweiz, wie in anderen Ländern hier, gibt es alte Burgen aus vordemokratischer Zeit. Diese ist eine charakteristische Burg des Mittelalters. Toni hat seine neue Armbrust mit. Ist er ein guter Schütze? Was will er? Vor der Burg sind viele schöne Blumen. Aber wo ist Toni? Toni, wo warst du? Was hast du gemacht? Jetzt hab ich's. Toni hat selbst Wilhelm Tell übertrumpft. Auch er ist ein Meisterschütze.
Hello everybody, I'm Skip Elsheimer, welcome. Oh no! I gotta turn on my neon. Welcome to the AV Geeks Lunchtime Streaming Show, where we watch old 16mm films, and we have a neon sign that tells us that we're live, and I forgot to turn it on. So, that last film, I think was German. I mean, although they were visiting Switzerland, so I'm not 100% sure. I don't think there's Swiss foreign language films in the United States. Like, I don't think many places teach Swiss, so I'm not sure. But anyhow, hope everybody had a great weekend. We've got so many more 16mm films to show you. This next one is a plea to buy war bonds. This is Memo to Joe.
I've talked to G.I. Joe while he waited, listening for a signal in a shallow ditch. I've heard his last hoarsely shouted wisecrack before his first action. Marched with him when he was tired. I've been his passenger, flown with him over the sea, over the desert. Watched him go to church, strange churches without steeple, spire, or pew. Been to chow with him, informally. Kidded with him when there was very little to joke about. And often when I've said, "Goodbye again, Joe," I've felt something more disturbing than the sadness of parting. Something added to the gratitude that all of us must feel. Something added to a debt that, try as we will, we know down deep we never can repay. For packed in my kit bag and my notes and manuscripts are thousands of stories of Joe's courage, fortitude, and gumption. Well, it's been valor that needed publishing, a story that demanded telling. Like all correspondence, I've done my best with it. It is not that what disturbs a reporter of this war. It is this. When correspondence goes stale, tired, jaded, when we get fed up, we can always quit. Right, to be continued. Push off, catch a plane, come home. That's why I shall always be in his debt. So I've been searching for a story big enough, strong enough to bear comparison with the prodigious one he has been writing in blood and fire and geography. I think that I've found it in this, a story that all America helps write. It is doubtful that Joe has heard, busy as he is, that we at home have united all of these services into one great community campaign. That we have merged that traditional democratic institution, the community chest, with our national war fund. But I should like to show him how logical this combined operation is. When I write about Joe, he's usually storming Salerno, landing on the beaches of Normandy, pulverizing Wilhelmshaven. But when there are 3,000 miles of ocean between us, I think of him laughing at his familiar favorites, his home folks of Hollywood and Broadway and the radio. All were dispatched to him by USO camp shows, a major item of this fund. Think of it. 2.5 million G.I. Joes entertained each month last year. 87 camp shows and combat zone shows overseas. Yes, and 83 training camp and hospital shows over here. And in addition, the stable, permanent, fixed homes away from home. The USO Club's 3,000 units, Alaska to Brazil, Newfoundland to Hawaii. 2.5 million of servicemen lodged and entertained each month. And Joe will want to hear, too, of those comrades of his who never again in this war can be entertained by a USO show. The National War Fund aids these, too, with the materials of sanity and self-respect, with arms against the long leaden march of Axis prison days. 94 rest centers and United Seamen's Clubs on 6 continents draw support from this fund to fight convoy fatigue. These are the men who volunteer not once, but many times. The merchant seamen who play that fateful game of tag with the tin fish, who sink and swim and then sign on again. You know, your friend Joe has seen some sights that are pretty hard to take, even on a movie screen, since you shook his hand and wished him well. Scenes he will be a long time forgetting. So this is what I think. I think that when Joe sees scenes like this, his heart flies home to a scene like this American Day Nursery, a day nursery you help support, one of the thousands of recipients of your generosity. They are opposite sides of the same coin, of a very precious species, minted in your community war fund. Yes, we must give relief from the effects of this war in your own neighborhood. All these familiar agencies whose efficient functioning we have taken pretty much for granted must whip forward under the sting and lash of a war thousands of miles away. So I should like to tell Joe that the children on his block are safe, that despite wild boom stories that are worse on his nerves than booby traps, his kid sister has been guided into a safe haven, that the Boy Scouts still flourish with the aid of this fund, put on drives with a snap and an enthusiasm that would do a big brother's heart good, that many a mother who feels the stress of a speeded-up war world owes her peace of mind to some Girl Scout trained to care for children. And I should like to tell them that every Mrs. Joe's budget problem and health problem is the urgent concern of an understanding specialist, and that the visiting nurses are tireless and patient in teaching many a mother to care for a junior Joe, helping the fewer doctors at home to take care of more patients, old and young, and that the American War Relief Services beyond the sea, whose needs none can see and feel more clearly, more sensitively than Joe, China War Relief, Russian War Relief, the Belgian, the Greek, all the war relief services, all 14, come out of the same hamper, are subscribed in the same fund. Well, that's the gist of my memo to Joe, our memo to Joe. Worth traveling thousands of miles to deliver. Worth remembering when your community war fund or war chest asks that you make it good. So when I go out again, I'll say to Joe, this is one thing you don't have to worry about. We've got it covered. This is our promise. This is the least we can do. Okay?
So that wasn't about war bonds. There's a bunch of films that Treasury Department and the War Department and Signal Corps made that were war bond films, and I thought this was one of them. But this was another film about the USO and about things related to the war fund and how they kind of combined with Community Chest, which was a precursor to the United Way, where you could donate locally, and then that money would be funneled to these programs. So, yeah, it's pretty great. Bob Hope showed up. You mentioned the USO, and then, like, within seconds, Bob Hope will show up, it seems like. Alright, so behind me, I have a bunch of TV commercials hooked up, but they have sticky splices. So we might be able to watch a couple of them before the tension messes up. So we'll just go for it. How about that? Are you up for it? We'll go, and then it stops, and we'll watch a film. I'll set it up. We'll watch some more, and maybe we'll get through half a reel, or I don't know. We'll see. All right. Here are, well, let me actually change the title. Oh, there it is. It's already set up. All right, enjoy.
Today, everyone is into physical fitness, and these students at Texas A&I University are getting into shape for the annual Army ROTC Super College Stars competition. This team gets instructions from an ROTC officer before going into training for the events. Mixed teams enter the 6-event series designed for fun and to acquaint students with the adventure training aspects of Army ROTC. A brand new entry this season is the Faculty Super Team, sporting a prediction of the outcome of the competition. There are rappelling events, and you must remember, these college stars have never attempted such feats before. There's cross-country orienteering, which features a refreshment pit stop for the uninitiated, and a super tough obstacle course designed to test the physical prowess and emotional stamina as well as team efforts of the entrants. And then the dash for the finish line. The Delta Tau team finished first. And running a close second, you guessed it, the faculty. Phil Tonkin, Kingsville, Texas.
How do you make a roast even tastier? You baste it with that juicy, meaty taste. Well, Gravy Train's basted too. They baste every nugget with meaty taste. She loves it. Either dry or mixed with water to make gravy. You know, every good dry dog food is fully nutritious. The difference is really in the taste. And Gravy Train is basted with meaty taste.
All right, it's not behaving. So let's watch this film about the Pioneer Home. Enjoy.
More than 100 years ago, pioneers from the East Coast came to settle in the woodlands of the Midwestern United States. Here they lived much like other pioneers who settled in various parts of our country. One pioneer was a furniture maker named Thomas Cook, who came with his family from New York State and built. Here is his son, David, with a kettle of burning coals he got at a neighbor's cabin. These coals are important to the family, for their fire has gone out. His sister Martha and his mother have been waiting for him to bring the coals to start a new fire. You see, pioneer families could not buy matches at the store, and they had no furnaces or radiators as we have. No wonder they are eager to have the fire burning again. It's the only way they can heat the cabin. David can't wait to tell some exciting news he learned at the neighbor's cabin. They're going to have a visitor. That is exciting news. Living in their lonely cabin in the woods, they seldom see other people, except when they make the long trip to the store in the village. David is teasing Martha because she's so eager to know who the visitor will be. Well, it's Mr. Barlow, a settler who lives many miles away. While Mother puts corn muffins in the oven, David and Martha wonder, will Mr. Barlow want Father to make some furniture for him? And will he bring some wool to trade? Martha would love to have a new cape and hood made of wool. But there's work to do this morning, work for everyone. While David goes out to help his father, Mother and Martha busy themselves about the cabin. Cutting firewood is a job each pioneer family must do for itself. David wishes he were as big and strong as his father. But even now, David has a regular job, carrying the firewood to the cabin. This is a year-round job, because the family depends on the fire not only for heat, but also for cooking their food and for light. A fire gives off very little light, and since the pioneers had no electric lights as we have, they used candles, which they made themselves. See how Mother pours the melted fat into the candle mold around the wicks? Later, when the fat has cooled and hardened, Mother will take out the candles. One of Martha's regular jobs is churning butter. And now the butter has come. Going to the spring for water is one of David's regular jobs. You see, in those days, there were no pipes bringing water to the houses. Inside the churn, there is warm, sour cream. Martha churned the dasher up and down for a long time, and now the butter has come out of the cream. If you had lived in pioneer days, you would have made butter at home too, for there were no dairies that made butter and delivered it to stores and homes. Now David's back with water from the spring, and just in time too. Just in time for a drink of buttermilk, fresh from the churn. Good. Later, Mother and Martha are busy preparing the noonday meal. The family provides most of its own food. Only a few things are bought at the store in the village. Father shoots rabbits and wild turkeys, and sometimes deer. Today they're having rabbit. Martha is helping to prepare a vegetable stew, made from vegetables Mother grew in a garden behind the cabin. Here's Father with Mr. Barlow. It's been many months since the Cook family entertained a visitor. Martha is curious to know whether Mr. Barlow's bundle contains wool. But not yet, Martha. We have to set another place at the table. The men are hungry after their morning's work. We'll eat together and listen to the news Mr. Barlow has to tell, and then later, Father and Mr. Barlow will talk business. After they have eaten, Father shows some of the furniture he made. Perhaps Mr. Barlow wants a china cabinet. But Mr. Barlow eats from rough wooden bowls he made himself, so he doesn't need a china cabinet. What about some stools? No, these are simple to make, and nearly every settler makes his own. Martha hopes Mr. Barlow finds something he wants Father to make for him. Then, the bench by the fireplace catches Mr. Barlow's eye. This high back offers protection against the cold drafts in the cabin. Besides, look. It makes a fine table. It's really 2 pieces of furniture in one. That saves valuable space in a small cabin. Well, Mr. Barlow might have use for a bench table like that. At least he's willing to bargain for it. And now, what is in the bundle? Is it wool? Yes, it is. This is wool just as it was cut off the sheep last spring. This fleece has been washed thoroughly, but much more must be done with it before it becomes woolen cloth. Mother thinks this will make fine cloth, and so Father and Mr. Barlow make a trade. Now the visitor has gone, and David and Father are again working in the woods. Martha just couldn't wait to start making yarn from the wool. First, she cards the wool, combing it out so the fibers will lie straight and flat. At the spinning wheel, Mother spins the wool into soft, strong yarn. Around and around goes the wheel as Mother makes enough yarn to weave a piece of cloth. Martha will have her beautiful wool cape and hood made at home, as are all the family's clothes, because there are none to be bought at the store. David and his father wear strong, warm clothes, many made of deerskin. Do you know what David is going to do? He's going to do his lessons. You see, there were few schools to which pioneer children could go. Most of them were taught at home by their mothers and fathers. In the evening, David and Martha play before the fire to keep warm. David is building a toy house of sticks, much as his father built their cabin of logs. First, 2 long logs for the sides of the cabin, then 2 shorter ones for the ends. The logs are notched so they fit together. Up and up go the walls of the cabin. But now it's time to read from the family Bible. This is one of the very few books Father brought with him from the East. Tonight, he's reading from Psalms. It is a good thing to give thanks unto the Lord, and to sing praises unto thy name, O Most High, to show forth thy loving kindness in the morning, and thy faithfulness every night. It's been a good day, but night is here, and the children are tired. Martha is snug and warm. Soon she will be dreaming of her beautiful new cape and hood. David sleeps in this trundle bed, which is pushed under the big bed in the daytime. He may dream of being a grown man, building a cabin, hunting, working, protecting his family, just as his father does now. Before going to bed, Mother and Father talk over plans for next spring, plans for clearing more ground, planting more crops, improving their home. Every day is a busy day, and a hard one for every member of a pioneer family.
How do you make a roast even tastier? You baste it with that juicy, meaty taste. Well, Gravy Train basted too. They baste every nugget with meaty taste. She loves it. If they're dry, or mixed with water to make gravy. You know, every cooked dry dog food is fully nutritious. The difference is really in the taste. And Gravy Train is basted with meaty taste. Right, girl?
Gaines Gravy Train, basted with meaty taste.
It's fun falling in love with Jello pudding, isn't it? Not like most things you fall in love with. Like if you fall in love with a cantaloupe, then the cantaloupe is not in season, then you do without, right? But there's almost always some Jello pudding around the house, right? Just takes remembering.
Kids love pudding, and Jello brand is the pudding kids have loved for 40 years.
You in love? Me too.
Uh-oh, sis, making breakfast again. Bobby.
Honey, use my Bisquick. Gee, Mom, don't you use pancake mix? Not anymore. Now I always use Bisquick to make great.
Thanks. Bisquick.
Bisquick, the only pancake mix you'll ever need.
Which is here.
They're the cookies we make, the way you make them from scratch. They're called
Big Batch.
They're warm, fresh, and
Big Batch.
New Big Batch cookie mix from Betty Crocker makes 6 dozen warm, wonderful cookies. Just add eggs and butter.
They're the cookies that
Batch.
Remember those earmuffs, Howie? These pictures look good, don't they? Mom says one reason was they got Kodak paper behind them. You see, you can tell by these words. Just because you use Kodak film, you might not get Kodak paper. You gotta ask for it. Remember, Howie, you gotta ask for it. You see?
Using Kodak film doesn't mean you automatically get Kodak paper. Ask for it. And look for this sign when you get your pictures developed.
Are you in there, Howie? Come on, Howie, get in. Don't you want to go fishing?
These are times of your life to remember.
You could be the captain, okay?
In pictures, to help make those pictures look their best, ask for Kodak paper behind them. And remember, using Kodak film doesn't mean you automatically get Kodak paper. So look for these words. Look for this sign when you get your pictures developed and get them on Kodak paper for a good look.
See, a good captain always thanks his crew.
Do you know the facts about Betty Crocker Devil's Food Cake Mix?
Facts?
Fact 1. With Betty Crocker.
What turns a colorless party into instant fun? Colorburst. Kodak's new low-priced motorized instant cameras. Here's proof. From bright white to brilliant color. No other instant camera gives you this. Bright, brilliant, bursting color by Kodak. When you got this, you got the magic. After all, isn't color the way to choose an instant camera? New from Kodak.
Here it comes. Today's Dacron from DuPont. Today's Dacron in fabrics that are unnatural for the way you live today. Personal uses today's Dacron in these sportive separates in an easy care fabric with a natural look and touch that feels wonderful on. Look for this tag. It tells you you're wearing a fabric made with Dacron polyester from DuPont. Look for fashions made with today's Dacron at fine stores near you.
I've learned a lot about feeling fresh from my mother. But she's learned a lot about convenience from me. Like Massengill Disposable make a good product. No wonder the Massengill Disposable is so refreshing and convenient. It comes from a good family. Now in 2 fragrances.
Now remember, stay together and good luck. Let's move.
The fabulous Jeep CJ Golden
Eagle. Huncho!
Jeep! Excitement on wheels. Which one would you pick? Jeep wrote them both on 4-wheel drive.
Only Chrysler has the Sailors, the first auxiliary outboards designed to power displacement hulls. See the Chrysler fleet today.
Ogilvy Home Permanent, you can do at home what a hairdresser does in the salon. Because of all leading brands, only Ogilvy has pre-perm conditioner.
Salon-proven.
Clean and simple under the hood for easy service. Make waves with a Chrysler from 3.6 to 135 horses.
I've
I've been good. I've had a whole full day of motherhood, but I'm gonna have an ambiance night.
Prince Machiavelli brings you Aviance, a radiant new perfume that lasts through the night. And what a way to start it.
We're gonna have an ambiance night.
Oh, yeah.
When I make beef soup, I cut the beef and vegetables into nice big chunks.
When Campbell's makes chunky beef soup, we cut the beef and vegetables into nice big chunks.
My beef soup is so chunky, you'll be tempted to eat it with a fork.
Chunky beef soup is so chunky, you'll be tempted to eat it with a fork. But use a spoon. You'll want to get
Those chunky soups, so chunky you'll be tempted to eat them with a fork.
If you're constantly looking for pantyhose that are luxuriously sheer, if you're constantly looking for pantyhose that fit superbly, maybe you should try Burlington pantyhose. From luxuriously sheer Burlington basics to control top to support to Burlington's pantyhose and panty-in-one, maybe you should stop searching. Maybe you should try Burlington.
This is the lifeblood of your car. It's coolant. Like gasoline and oil, your coolant is important. So this is a name to know. Dalgard. Dalgard guards your car's cooling system. Dalgard keeps it from freezing when it's freezing. Dalgard can keep it from boiling when it's boiling. And Dalgard helps guard it year-round from rust and corrosion. Dalgard. It's the lifeblood of your car.
Here it comes, today's Dacron from DuPont. Today's Dacron in fabrics that are unnatural for the way you live today. Act 3 uses today's Dacron in these sportive separates in an easy care fabric with a natural look and touch that feels wonderful on. Look for this tag. It tells you you're wearing a fabric made with Dacron polyester from DuPont. Look for fashions made with today's Dacron at fine stores near you.
Here it comes, today's Dacron from DuPont. Today's Dacron in fabrics that are natural for the way you live today. Corette of California uses today's Dacron in these sportive separates. In an easy care fabric with a natural look and touch that feels wonderful on. Look for this tag. It tells you you're wearing a fabric made with Dacron polyester from DuPont. Look for fashions made with today's Dacron at fine stores near you.
Want a lot of style? From the hair you've got? Introducing new Supermax Swivel, the unique two-step styling dryer. Step 1, it's a compact 1,000-watt pro dryer to add fullness. Step 2, swivel. It's a 1,000-watt lightweight styling dryer. The round flow-through airbrush adds lift, body, and curl to give you lots of style from the hair you've got. Supermax Swivel, the two-step styling dryer, new from Gillette.
Here it comes, today's Dacron from DuPont. Today's Dacron in fabrics that are unnatural for the way you live today. Breckenridge uses today's Dacron in these sportive separates in an easy care fabric with a natural look and touch that feels wonderful on. Look for this tag. It tells you you're wearing a fabric made with Dacron polyester from DuPont. Look for fashions made with today's Dacron at fine stores near you.
Big batch.
Where the cookies.
No, I don't have any problem with my skin. I don't give it much thought, but I use Nivea practically all my life.
Whatever skin you're in, the daily Nivea habit maintains a pleasant softness, a smooth, supple feeling. Nivea keeps skin comfortable.
Used it nearly every day of my life.
Nivea Cream and Nivea Cream Lotion.
Here it comes, today's Dacron from DuPont. Today's Dacron in fabrics that are unnatural for the way you live today. John Meyer of Norwich uses today's Dacron in these sportive separates in an easy care fabric with a natural look and touch that feels wonderful on. Look for this tag. It tells you you're wearing a fabric made with Dacron polyester from DuPont.
Look for fashions made with today's Dacron at fine stores near you.
Hey, it's the fabulous Harlem Globetrotters!
It feels healthy, it looks healthy.
This woman
and
proved to
Life
herself
says
what
it
independent laboratory tests recently showed. Amazing Nutritonic Life actually strengthens hair.
It really improved it. It made it manageable.
Tests proved Life adds body and shine, makes hair more manageable.
Life now, my hair is free and easy and shines and...
Life makes hair smoother, less tangly. Women proved it, tests proved it. Prove it yourself. Give up problem hair for Life. Life's available at your favorite store.
See you on the courts at 3. Oh, and bring your Dunlops, Marge.
If you like us on the court, you'll love us on your car. Dunlop.
Washing liquid is mild on hands.
But I thought Ajax was a tough grease cutter.
Watch this. It is tough on grease. As my Ajax squeak soundly states. I've also found Ajax is mild on hands.
You and Ajax sure know how to treat a lady.
Ajax dishwashing liquid in the new clear bottle. Mild on hands, tough on grease.
I'm Joyce Haber. My book, The Users, takes you into private screening rooms like this and into the private homes where Hollywood's most powerful people make their deals. The Users may shock you, but what goes on behind that screen is far more fascinating than what's on it.
The Users. It lays bare the private behavior of Hollywood's public people, says Irving Wallace. The Users, a runaway bestseller from Dell.
Washing liquid is mild on hands.
But I thought Ajax was a tough grease cutter.
Watch this. It is tough on grease. As my Ajax squeak soundly states. I've also found Ajax is mild on hands.
You and Ajax sure know how to treat a lady.
Ajax dishwashing liquid in the new clear bottle. Mild on hands, tough on grease.
The new Sylvester Stallone movie is also a great new book. A novel about a man who hammered an angry dream into a union, and that giant union into a fist. Fist, the story of Johnny Kovac, fighting company goons in the 30s, subpoenas and senators in the 60s, corrupting every dream he had and every person he touched. Fist, the new paperback bestseller with the punch of Rocky and the surging power of life itself.
Acts by Richard Condon.
Here it comes. Today's Dacron from DuPont. Today's Dacron in fabrics that are a natural for the way you live today. John Meyer of Norwich uses today's Dacron in these sportive separates in an easy care fabric with a natural look and touch that feels wonderful on. Look for this tag. It tells you you're wearing a fabric made with Dacron polyester from DuPont. Look for fashions made with today's Dacron at fine stores near you.
Now read Tender Torment, the spellbinding story of a beautiful woman and the one man determined to tame and control her. This is Tender Torment, the splendid new novel of passion and adventure. A frightened girl fled her cruel home and her painful past. A glowing woman discovered the love that brought her dormant passions to blazing life. Tender Torment, a glorious romantic adventure. Tender Torment, an ace paperback.
Before they came here, the kids in Hudson City were just like yours. They talked of love and purity, and the kids listened. Not many parents could object to that. Now, God help you if you do.
Go away, Mother. They are my family now.
The Turning, the new suspense bestseller about a town that loses its kids to a religious cult. The Turning, pray it never comes true.
Hey, let's buy that old clock that you like so much.
Can we pay for it?
Sure. I got credit cards. I got plenty of cash.
Protect your vacation. Carry American Express traveler's checks. If they're stolen, you can get a full refund, usually on the same day.
Oh, hey, how's the fishing?
Good. American Express traveler's checks. Don't leave home without them.
Look what we made, Mom.
Pizza! Every time we mess up, we get Gala 2, the More towel.
Gala has more absorbency per sheet than the current leading brand.
So there's more Gala for bigger spills.
More Gala to wipe and dry with.
And not fall apart. So you get Gala 2, the More towel. One of the paper products that care about the West.
You know me. You would if my husband were here. But when I travel by myself, nobody knows me. That's why I carry the American Express card. Gives me a great feeling of independence. I don't have to carry a lot of money, and I have the freedom to join my husband when he gets a nice business trip. And he gets some nice business trips.
To apply for an American Express card, look for this display wherever the card is welcomed.
The American Express card.
Don't leave home without it.
Sports for men and women.
So you want a digital watch, and there are over 100 brands around,
No problem.
and you don't know which way to look, right?
No problem.
Listen, you know Bulova quality.
Right.
Well, you can get that same Bulova dependability. What's digitals, push button, or men and women. They make over 50 models.
50? That's a problem.
Bulova Quartz Digitals. Your only problem is which elegant style to choose.
The evening comes and you're alone, somewhere far away from home, working hard the whole night through, doing the job you must do. Let us be part of your day, Avis somewhere on the way.
Keep on trying, Avis, trying harder, Avis. Avis, we don't know another way. Keep on trying, Avis, we try harder, Avis. Avis, we don't know another way.
Pack 1200 hairdryer. Both have 1200 watts of power for super fast drying. Both have separate heat and airflow settings, including cool. The big difference is in the small size and lightweight. So when it comes to ease of use, one wins hands down. New Promax Compact 1200 from Gillette, the powerful lightweight champion.
I am Givenchy. I believe that a beautiful dress can do much for a woman, but not as much as a woman can do for a dress. That is why I have created body smoothers, sheer pantyhose that hug your body, hold your body, smooth your body.
And now you'll find body smoothers and all the many other fine round-the-clock pantyhose and stockings at very special sale prices. Here is where you will find the round-the-clock sale.
For ordinary dry hair, there are ordinary conditioners. But if your hair is really dry, damaged, unmanageable, it needs more than conditioning. It may need repairing.
Ogilvy Hair Repair Lotion with Placenta is much more than a conditioner. It's a salon-proven hair treatment that you don't rinse out. For externally damaged hair that needs more than an ordinary conditioner, Ogilvy Hair Repair Lotion with Placenta. What your hairdresser does in the salon, Ogilvy does at home.
The smell of smoke woke us up. By then, the fire was blazing. I ran for Billy. George grabbed Susie. We just made it.
Just barely. We didn't have a fire alarm then. Believe me, we've got one now. A Honeywell fire and smoke detector. It smells fire before visible smoke or flames break out.
That could give us a few seconds more.
Very precious seconds. Don't wait. Hang up a Honeywell fire and smoke detector tonight.
A beautiful chocolate Bavarian from the supermarket. Is Sarah Lee kidding? Took me years to make a good one. The chocolate won't be rich and creamy.
Bavarian. It's an international delight.
It's so delicious.
See you on the courts at 3. Oh, and bring your Dunlops, Marge.
If you like us on the court, you'll love us on your car. Dunlop.
Ring the fire alarm.
Oh, I know. My hands are red, Madge. It's dishwashing.
Well, try palm olive. It softens your hands while you do the dishes. You're soaking in it.
In dishwashing liquid.
Then mild. Makes loads of suds. Got a special ProtoCare formula that helps improve red chapped dishwashing hands. And it softens your hands while you do the dishes.
Madge, Palmolive helped my hands. It's black magic.
Green magic.
My hands remind you of that sunset, Madge?
Yep, red and sinking fast.
It's dishwashing.
What's so dry palm olive dishwashing liquid? You know you're soaking in it.
Dishwashing liquid?
ProtoCare formula that helps improve red chapped dishwashing hands.
Even milder than before?
Palm olive does more than make heaps of suds. Tests show that it helps improve red chapped dishwashing hands.
Madge, Palmolive helped my hands. How can I thank you?
By getting off my hat. Oh.
I've learned a lot about feeling fresh from my mother. But she's learned a lot about convenience from me. Like Massengill disposable douche.
These disposables were new to me. They certainly are convenient.
Pre-mixed and pre-measured. Sure does save time. Refreshing, too.
Well, you can trust Massengill to make a good product.
No wonder the Massengill disposable is so refreshing and convenient. It comes from a good family. Now in 2 fragrances.
Good job, Al. Thanks, Lieutenant. Head aching? Aren't they all for adults?
Yes, but while regular and buffered aspirin tablets start with the same...
Adult strength Anacin did it, and Anacin really works fast.
Take adult strength Anacin.
Crab, canned or frozen in your food store or served in your favorite restaurant.
Don't tell me. The coffee machine at the office?
I think it hates me, and in my best yellow blouse. Well, I've been using Clorox 2-0 fabric bleach. Let's hope.
Hey, stains out.
Funny. Since I've been adding Clorox 2, our colors look cleaner and brighter, even permanent press.
At least the wash machine likes you.
Think I'll feed a Clorox 2 more often.
Stains out, brightness in with Clorox 2.
Honeywell, to protect your family.
Madge, you've got a green thumb.
Yeah. You got a red hand.
It's dishwashing.
Well, you should try palm olive dishwashing liquid. It softens your hands while you do the dishes. You know you're soaking in it. Wow. Makes heaps of suds. Got a special ProtoCare formula that helps improve red chapped dishwashing hands, and it softens your hands while you do the dishes.
Palmolive helped my hands, Madge. You are a genius.
Yeah, well, so why'd I put my sweater on inside out?
My hands remind you of that sunset, Madge?
Yep, red and sinking fast.
It's dishwashing.
What's so dry palm olive dishwashing liquid? You know you're soaking in it.
Dishwashing liquid?
Care formula that helps improve red chapped dishwashing hands.
Even milder than before?
Palm olive does more than make heaps of suds. Tests show that it helps improve red chapped dishwashing hands.
Madge, Palmolive helped my hands. How can I thank you?
By getting off my hat. Oh.
Hi, Red.
My hair's not red, Madge.
Your hands are.
It's dishwashing.
Dry palm olive dishwashing liquid. You know you're soaking in it.
Dishwashing liquid?
Formula that helps improve red chapped dishwashing hands.
They made it even milder.
Palm olive does more than make a ton of suds. Tests show that it helps improve red chapped dishwashing hands.
Madge, Palmolive helped my hands. You're a dear.
Yeah. How do you like my antlers? Hi, my red.
My hair's not red, Madge.
Your hands are.
It's dishwashing.
Dry palm-olive dishwashing liquid. You know you're soaking in it.
Dishwashing liquid?
Hair formula. It helps improve red chap dishwashing hands.
They made it even milder.
Palm-olive does more than make a ton of suds. Tests show that it helps improve red chap dishwashing hands.
Madge, Palmolive helped my hands. You're a dear.
Well, how do you like my antlers?
Of twin blade shaving, get the exceptional quality of Wilkinson's finest edge, Wilkinson 2. With a Wilkinson 2 and your twin blade handle, you get a close shave, a Wilkinson quality shave. Get Wilkinson 2. Get the Wilkinson edge.
Do you know me? You would if my husband were here. But when I travel by myself, nobody knows me. That's why I carry the American Express card. Gives me a great feeling of independence. I don't have to carry a lot of money, and I have the freedom to join my husband when he gets a nice business trip. And he gets some nice business trips.
To apply for an American Express card, look for this display wherever the card is welcomed.
The American Express card.
Don't leave home without it.
Spot Shot at leading stores everywhere, used in Holiday Inns.
I'm going to wash these dirty uniforms in cold water to show how well cold power works. Undress! In fact, for cold water brightening, there is no power like cold power. Cold power is especially made to not only get dirty things clean in cold water, but it brightens better than any big-name detergent. Yes, for cold water brightening, cold power beats the others cold.
I'll just clean up this new counter.
Oh, okay. Here.
Scouring powder? That's what scratched up the old one, see? We're recommending new soft scrub cleanser from Clorox. Removes the dirt and leaves more shine. It's liquid with a mild abrasive. Cleans stainless steel and stovetops.
Tough dirt?
You just try it on soap scum around your bathtub and shower and tile. It's terrific.
And won't scratch like scouring powder.
It's called soft scrub.
New soft scrub. Removes the dirt. Leaves more shine.
When the sticker says, do not use scouring powder, how do you get things clean? With Soft Scrub, a new kind of cleanser from Clorox. Liquid, made with a mild abrasive, Soft Scrub removes the dirt, leaves more shine. Crusty stains on your kitchen counters and stainless steel, soap scum on bathroom tile, porcelain, and chrome. Cleans so many things scouring powder will scratch. New Soft Scrub removes the dirt, leaves...
Boy, holy cow. So for me to run all those commercials, well, what's happening is the splices have their tape splices and they're not 100% lined up. So you have this kind of stickiness from the adhesive of the tape sticking to the back of the film to the film that was touching. So anytime that it would pull it off the reel, it would pop, and that would cause a tension issue. So what I had to do is put my finger like right here, and I had to kind of like be like this to kind of keep an eye on it, which is why I didn't see that the mic was on most of that. So I apologize for that. Can I make it up to you by watching some a film about verbs? Sure, why not?
Here is a picture of a young man with a problem. It concerns the principal parts of verbs. Let's see what's troubling him. Which is correct? The balloon has rose, or the balloon has risen? Has rose, or has risen? Is it the rope has broke, or the rope has broken? Has broke, or has broken? As we get deeper into this young man's problem, the principal parts of verbs, we will probably be reviewing information some of us already know about verbs. Joe and Nancy will help us begin. Suppose Joe says this to Nancy: "Because I enjoy classical music, I enjoyed the opera on television last night." We can see that Joe used the verb enjoy twice, first in the present tense and then in the past tense. The past tense is simply the present tense with the letters ed at the end. Enjoy, present tense; enjoyed, past tense. The past tense of most verbs is formed by simply adding ed. The scientists launch a rocket each day at noon. Launch, present tense. The scientists launched another rocket at noon today. Launched, past tense, by adding ed. Besides adding ed to the present tense, there is another common way of forming the past tense of verbs. Nancy and Joe appreciate Beethoven as a composer. They appreciated him even when they were younger. Here only the letter D was added to turn the present tense appreciate into the past tense appreciated. Here is another example. I raised tomatoes in my garden. Last year I raised corn. Verbs that form their past tense by adding ed and those that form their past tense by adding d are called regular verbs. These verbs seldom give us trouble. But this young man is having problems with verbs that don't form their past tenses in this simple, regular way. Let's see some examples of this kind of verb. Now I set the table. 5 minutes ago, I set the table. There is no difference between the present and past tense of set. The whistles blow. The whistles blew. This time, the spelling is changed to form the past tense, but neither d nor ed is added. Elevators go up and down. The elevators went down. Here the past tense is a different word. Verbs such as set, blow, and go, whose past tenses are formed by no change, by a change in spelling, or by a change in word, and not simply by adding d or ed to the present tense, are called irregular verbs. There is no rule to follow in forming the past tense of irregular verbs. The only way to know what the past tense is of such verbs is to learn the principal parts of verbs. The principal parts of a verb are the present tense, the past tense, and the past participle. In regular verbs, the past participle has the same form as the past tense. For example, we give the principal parts of the regular verb bounce this way. I bounce, present tense; I bounced, past tense; and the past participle has the same form as the past tense. I have bounced. Notice that when we use the past participle, we add a helping word. But now, let's give the principal parts of the irregular verb go. I go, I went, and I have gone. There is no rule to let us know what form the past participle of an irregular verb will take. Again, the only way to know this is to memorize the principal parts of verbs. But what is the benefit of knowing these parts? Let's conjugate the irregular verb write, and you'll see. The present tense, the past tense, and the future tense. Now, let's put the principal parts of write across the top. I write, I wrote, I have written. Now let's think about the first principal part, write. As you can see, we find this form of the verb used in the present and future tenses. The past tense of the verb write is based on its second principal part, wrote. Now, to see how the third principal part, written, is used, let's look at the tenses that tell of completed action or state of being. The perfect tenses, present perfect, past perfect, and future perfect. The third principal part is used in forming all the perfect tenses. But remember, with the aid of one or two helping words. So by knowing the principal parts of a verb, you can determine the correct forms for all its tenses. But two rules must be remembered. The past tense does not take a helping word. The past participle does. These are important enough rules to be written out in full. Now, if we remember these rules about principal parts, we can help the young man with his problems. Remember the simple sentences he was puzzling over? The balloon has rose, or the balloon has risen. We are using the irregular verb rise, whose principal parts are rise, rose, risen. So the question is, should we use the past tense or the past participle? Remember the rules. Therefore, since we're using a helping word, we must use the past participle. The correct sentence is, the balloon has risen. And the second problem was, the rope has broke, or the rope has broken. The verb we're concerned with this time is break, whose principal parts are break, broke, broken. The question again is, should we use the past tense or the past participle? Since we're using a helping word, here is the answer. The rope has broken. But if we should want to use the past tense of the verb, then we would not need the helping word. The rope broke. Using the principal parts of verbs is as simple as that. This young man will learn to use the principal parts of irregular verbs by practicing saying them correctly again and again in this way. I see, I saw, I have seen. From knowing the principal parts of see, you would know that you could never correctly use seen without a helping word. I swim, I swam, I have swum. And so on, and so on. The principal parts of irregular verbs can be found in the dictionary. You already know many of them. It's worth knowing as many as you can. You will find that it is easier for you to use verbs correctly when you know their principal parts.
Yeah, you guys were having too good of a time with the TV commercials in Madge, so we had to bring it down. We had to calm things down and include some educational content about principal parts of verbs. So, sorry? I don't know. It's what we do. Plus, that animation was insanely scary. That eye kind of moved, just barely animated. Anyways, thanks for tuning in today. If you like what you saw, at least during part of this show, please hit the thumbs up button or the like button. You can also subscribe and, tell other people what we're doing. So share links. If you want to continue watching some AV Geeks shows and content, you can go to avgeeks.com, and there's a 24/7 channel there that's running previous lunch shows and upcoming and stuff that we've scanned, which we haven't shown on the show. So go on over there. You can donate to us via Patreon. Go to patreon.com/avgeeks, or just buy us a cup of coffee at ko-fi.com/avgeeks. It was great spending a Monday with you. We'll be back again tomorrow. Everybody have a great rest of your day, and we will talk to you soon. Bye.